Although we're experiencing summer weather right now, winter will be here before we know it. Cattlemen to Cattlemen reporter Russell Nimitz has a look at a unique product that can make winter feeding easier and more cost-effective.
Years ago, Southeast Colorado rancher RC Patterson was faced with the nearly impossible task of purchasing and making payments on both his land and cattle. To generate the income he needed would require running nearly double the amount of cattle that he was comfortable putting on his land. But when he was a kid, RC had actually seen his dad use all of his winter pasture in the summer by running twice as many cows. That was great from a cash flow standpoint, but providing the cows with a total cost-efficient ration in the winter required a lot of machinery and a lot of work.
We're feeding numerous different classes of livestock, and everything that we feed has different nutritional requirements. We were just non-stop grinding and mixing, and it took 2 or 3 operations to get the cattle fed every day. And so the question became what made it feasible. And of course, what would make it feasible is if we could do the whole operation, do one man, one machine, one operation, get it all done at once.
RC started looking for a machine to make feeding easier, and when he couldn't find one to suit his needs, he designed and patented his own. The result is the EZ Ration Processor, which allows the operator to blend 2 different feed sources and change up the ratio on the go.
People were already trying to do that. People were already putting 2 different types of hay on there, but they were just stuck with one blend. It kind of occurred to me one day is like, why don't we just run them at different rates and then we can create any blend we want? And it seemed so ridiculously simple that I thought, well, it must not work, or surely somebody would have done this years ago. But after months of mulling it over, I finally said, there's no reason this can't work. It's too straightforward and simple. So what we actually developed was basically a little miniature feed mill that went on the back of a truck. And so we were able to load up 2 different types of roughage. It focused on blending roughage just because that was the cheapest thing available to us. And so we're blending, say, alfalfa on one side and corn stalks on the other, for example. And then we actually had a grain attachment where we could blend in some concentrate. And so what we were doing that had never really been done before was the fact that we were actually blending them, creating a ration and dispensing it at the same time that we were feeding the cattle. All with one machine, one loading, boom, we load up and go. And readjust some controls and feed totally different blends, even take ingredients out of the mix. So the EZ Ration Processor is the only thing anywhere that can actually do that. Load it up and just create infinite blends that fit whatever class of livestock you're feeding.
Inside the cab, a touchscreen computer monitors and controls all the functions of the unit, including the feed processing, mixing ratios, and floor chain speeds.
We've got alfalfa hay on the left floor. So this control and this scale monitor correlates with the alfalfa. On the right floor, we've got corn stalks that are basically a filler and a lot cheaper. So this turns on the right floor, and then this controls the speed of how much corn stalks we're going to put in the mix. And then we can monitor that, of course, with our right floor monitor here. Right now in this pen that we're going to feed, we've got 87 heifers and 7 bulls in there. We've just turned the bulls in on them. We've given them the Ludlay shots. We've synchronized everything. And so we're going to want to feed 310 pounds of alfalfa. We're going to want to feed 330 pounds of corn stalks and 400 pounds of the whole corn. Now this is a pretty hot ration, but this is a growing ration for our heifers. And if you look down here, the ration we would feed the cows is radically different. And that's the cool thing about the machine is we readjust the controls and feed infinite different rations. We can even take a feed source out of there. For example, we feed the horses. We got here, we're just feeding them straight alfalfa. We would not turn on the right floor or the grain auger. We would just process up the alfalfa.
RC realized with the EZ Ration Processor, he could not only cut his feeding time, but also create nutritionally balanced rations and change them on the go for each class of livestock. And since he doesn't have to save grass for winter grazing, RC could put double the cows on his land during the growing season. This not only utilizes his forage at its highest nutritional value, with proper rotational grazing practices, he can actually improve his grass.
What we created then with this ranch with the EZ Ration Hay Processor is the ability to feed a total blended ration so we don't have to rely on any grass. We can use it all in the summer. We're able to run double the cattle because we have all that grass available for summer use that we normally would use in the winter. So whenever you're able to run double the cattle for the same per head, I mean, that's economics 101. Get your costs in line and then increase production.
The EZ Ration Processor has come a long way from that original prototype, and now there are several different models available to customers.
So our EZ Ration hay processors are built right here in the good old US of A in Harrington, Kansas. We got 4 and 6 bale models that can go on trucks. You can get grain attachments. You could without grain. There's scale options. Same with the tractor pull. We got 4 and 6 bale models that you can get scales on them. The grain attachment, no grain attachment. And then we just come out with the pickup pull model that we're really proud of. With our pickup pull model, no one that we know of has ever done anything like that. Created something that's self-contained. You just got to tie onto the gooseneck ball and go.
The EZ Ration Processor has cut feed costs by over 50% for some of RC's customers and has also allowed them to survive droughts and high feed prices without having to sell cows.
I encourage people, if good enough isn't good enough anymore, take a look and maybe we've got some answers for you that you've been looking for a long time.
Reporting from southeastern Colorado, I'm Russell Nimitz for NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen.
If you'd like to learn more about the EZ Ration Processor, just call 800-242-9599 or visit the website ezration.com.